Kiss the camera.
I met him at the Arizona State Fair in Phoenix, Arizona. And he was with two of his friends, and they were in the Army, and they were on leave before they went to Vietnam. So they were out of basic training and on their way to Vietnam. And there was 4 of us girls and 3 of those guys. And so they just stayed with us at the fair and paid for our rides and stuff. So when he got home from Vietnam, he came and saw me within a couple of days, and that was the beginning. We got married in Tucson, Arizona. We lived there about a year or 2 years, I guess. Anyway, we moved to northern Arizona, up in the mountains. That was a difference, having snow in the wintertime. In Tucson, there is no snow. In the Army, it was, I can't think of the word. Radiation, it wasn't radiation. It was radio stuff, yeah. And they did get radiation from that.
Yeah, he helped plan the cable system for Las Vegas, Nevada. Like the actual plans on where they were going to lay the wires and how it was going to be planned out. He helped do that. He was very proud of that. He used to own his own little repair shop, and we repaired VCRs and TVs and stuff like that. And I would go back there and he would show me what he was taking apart and how it made it work, and I would help him sometimes do that. I answered the phone for him a lot too. He used to have this one customer that would call yelling at us, and Daddy told me that I could send that call to the complaint department, which was opening the drawer, putting the phone in the drawer, and shutting the drawer and just let the guy keep yelling.
There was an incident at the high school that a young girl was getting tormented and beaten up at school, and Daddy just thought that was terrible. And so, yeah, he started this big old thing, and they would have meetings every month, every week, I don't remember. And because I was usually at work when they were happening. So he was at that meeting one time, and this guy come walking in.
I used to be able to go to the meetings and stuff.
Herlin, I told
They
you not
hate
to
to see
print
me
nothing
come
else
in.
about me.
What?
I told you not to print nothing else about me.
Here! Stop it. Stop here! Stop that! Stop! Somebody stop it! Stop it!
They didn't get what come.
I guess the guy ran outside. He got away from him and ran outside, and Daddy jumped him and punched him and made him lay down and wait for the cops to come. When he was little, around 3, he sat too close to a space heater. Grandpa was asleep in bed and Grandma was at work. Grandpa said he remembered seeing like a flash of light, and then of course the scream, but at first he didn't scream. And so his clothes had caught on fire, so his whole back was burned really bad. And they had to take the grafts off the front of his legs to put on his back. And so he just had a lot of scars all over the place. Around the time we got engaged, whatever, he said he had to show me the scars. I guess at his point of mind, if I freaked out about him, then that might have changed everything, who knows.
I mean, he was just the strongest man I'd ever seen, still. I mean, I remember him putting a telephone pole on his shoulder like this and carrying it, and then putting it in the hole. And then we had to hold it in place while he poured the cement, but he carried a telephone pole. And I just remember being like, wow, my daddy's stronger than everybody else's daddy.
He would do anything for anybody that needed it. A lot of my friends called him Daddy. They considered him a father figure. He was just that amazing.
We had 2 different of my friends stay with us because their family was not a good family. And one of them, every time, she thinks about my dad, she says he was a big old teddy bear. He had the best laugh, and he just made you feel comfortable and safe to be around.
Nope, he loved his girls, and he would have done anything for them. He was a good father.
What I miss most is the radiating love that came from him. Because when he was able to take you in, it was pure joy.
He was funny and strong and courageous. And I remember he would take lace and tie it around his head, pretend like he was Rambo, and he would wrestle with us.
He'd laugh at things that I would be like, oh no, and he would think that was funny. We were putting flyers out in people's mailboxes, which nowadays is illegal. But anyway, I don't know if it was then or not. But so I was on the passenger side, so of course I was the closest to the mailbox. So he would drive up to the mailbox and I would put it in the mailbox. Well, this one mailbox was in the wrong place. You couldn't get to it without getting out of the truck. So I got out of the truck and I got 1 foot up in the floorboard and he took off driving. So there I am with 1 leg trying to hobble and keep from falling out. And then he, of course, saw it. He slammed on the brake and smashed my face and broke my glasses. And he just laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. He told me a story when he was in the Army. This guy was a jokester and he would go, hit me if you can find an opening. And Daddy would go punch him in the face every single time. And the guy never learned.
And then one time, I don't know if April was in the car or if it was just me and Tammy, Jennifer, and Misty. We were headed into Selmer at the big 4-way stop. And we're headed in, and coming out on the opposite side was Daddy. And he saw us. He puts his truck in park, gets out, and starts jumping up and down and waving his arms. Because he saw us, and we were all just like, oh my goodness, Daddy's so silly. Well, we called it the Pepsi line at the drive-in theater while it was raining.
He was dancing around the truck, or he was going from driver's side around to the passenger side. So as we all got a drink of the same Coke, Pepsi, yeah, no, because, well, maybe it was. Anyway, he was singing Dr. Pepper song and dancing around the truck. And then when he'd get to the passenger side, he'd get a drink, and then we'd pass it back, and he'd go back around the other side to get another drink.
There was one morning, Daddy was taking me and April, and I guess Tammy was in school then, to school. He got a flat tire, so we pulled over, and he's trying to change the tire, and this woman pulls up and says, oh, do you need help? And, you know, she saw us and was like, why aren't they at school? And he was like, well, I've taken them to school right up the road and, you know, got the flat tire. She's like, oh, I'll take them for you. And he was like, are you sure? And she was like, yeah. So we got out and got the car with this stranger. She turned around and took us down the street to school. And Mom picked us up after school and took us home. When Daddy got home, he asked us, how did you know that lady? Did she go to church with you? Does she work at the school? And we just kind of looked at him and we were like, we don't know who she is. And Daddy was like, well, I thought you knew her. We were like, no, we thought you knew her. So he just sent us off with a stranger because he thought we knew her.
So Grandpa Tommy was my best friend. He passed away when I was 2. I used to come over to my grandma's all the time just to hang out with him.
And he loved his little Adrienne. Every day when he would get home from work, she would go and sit in his lap, and he would keep a bowl of jelly beans on his desk, and she would go sit in his lap and eat jelly beans, and she would come out of his office and she'd leave her little sticky jelly bean handprints on the door. And after he passed away, those handprints are still in the door. I wouldn't let anybody clean them.
She loved him to death, and when he died, it really put a hole in her.
I had an imaginary friend that I created because he passed away. And it was a little blue bee named Bluebee.
I remember you were trying to get past the blue bee, and you were taking a bath one night, and the water was draining out of the bathtub, and you leaned over and said, "Bye, blue bee," and he went down the drain.
He came back.
He came back, though. She wasn't ready to let him go.
Yeah, he lives at Walmart.
Oh. Yeah, I think the thing I hate the most about Daddy not being here is that he never got to meet his other 10 grandkids. Oh, I think he would have made a big difference in their lives. He liked to teach you how to do things, not by telling, but by making you do them, by helping you, showing you how to do it.
He automatically commanded the room when he walked into it, or at least that's how it felt. He was always the biggest, the tallest, the boldest, and the bravest.
He tried to teach all of us girls that we were strong and independent and that we did not need to rely on anybody. I know without a doubt it's because of him that I am as strong-willed as I am.
We don't realize in our lives how much impact we do make on other people. When we lived in Kentucky, the guys that worked for him were a lot younger than he was, and so he kind of protected them. If they'd go out drinking or whatever, he always made sure he was sober to drive home and stuff, and just watched out for them, and they really admired him, but I didn't realize how much. Then years later, we lived in Georgia. No, not Georgia, here in Tennessee. He got cancer, and so one of his best friends, Guy Lopez, got all the old guys together and had them come up here to see Tommy all at one time. And so for 2 or 3 days, they sat around telling stories and laughing and just having a really good time. And they, all of them ended up confessing how much a difference knowing him had done in their lives.
He was a big, strong man, and I loved him to death.
He was the best daddy. And I miss him so much.
Can you see me?
Yeah, but I can't see your phone. Okay, now how do I take a picture?
Is it filming right now? Okay, it's already working, dear.
How do you take the picture?
Mister, give it here.
Okay, push the red button again. No, up here.
Mister, give it here.
Tell her to come here.
Bring it here.
You enjoyed it. Let's give him a big round of applause. All right.
Show her.
Right there.